Alright everyone, today we got another solo RPG video. I assume maybe a series. Let me take a big hearty gulp out of my Hardy's cup real quick. Just had to finish off that coffee. If you live in a place that has Carl's Jr.'s and not Hardy's, I'm sorry, but you live in the mirror plane, and I don't know how to get you out. So something you're gonna have to deal with. Alright, so today, a little hairball. Thanks, cat. Today we have a solo RPG called Thousand Lights. I've already opened it and everything, and looked through a little bit. I did a little test playthrough to kind of get the rules down and everything. It's a little more complicated than I thought. It came with a really cool sticker, House of Valley. So this is made by Alfred Valley, and we're gonna do a kind of, in this part 0, I guess, I'm gonna discuss the module itself, as well as the rules and my character, and just kind of what we're gonna do for this series. So, Thousand Light is a Mothership RPG solo, which is really cool. I really love it when not only this isn't made by the people who made Mothership, but it seems like Alfred had a pretty good idea of what the Mothership RPG is all about. Getting really spooky vibes from this cover, especially. I heard that the title is actually randomly generated, so I don't know if he came up with the title and then came up with the idea of the lamplighters and everything that are in this. Cover's pretty cool. It gives me vibes of The Thing. If you've ever played SMT Strange Journey, which is also kind of based on The Thing. Also, if you ever watch Scooby-Doo, the Space Kook episode, the one that has like the glow-in-the-dark ghost, kind of gives me themes of that. It also came with this little card. I believe this has to do with another solo game called Diviner of Odd Domains. I believe this is like a mapping tool, so that'd be cool to look at in the future. And recently I found out that there is a update to this game, so I didn't know about this whenever I did my first little, I did the first area just to kind of figure out what was happening. So this is actually, I turned it into a zine, but it's the cover of a cassette tape, so there's actually a soundtrack for this. So if you want to listen to that while you play it, which I think is really cool, I've listened to it, it's really good. I really like the type of music where you can just kind of zone out to, but it's also really good at the same time. Really like Blade Runner vibes, kind of. It kind of picks up intensity as you go through. But yeah, I wish I could have got the cassette, but I don't think they're selling those anymore. We have a cassette player at my where I work, so I can just scare everyone with this. So you got your my cat just jumped up on the table, so we'll see how this goes. You got your tracks here, and I believe it actually has a new area, which is, so I don't want to look too far into it. I don't want to spoil myself or you guys. I think it comes off of area number 4, so I think it has to do with this little down spike here. But yeah, we'll come across this if we come into it. I don't want to force myself into it if my character, it doesn't make sense for my character to do so, but let's go ahead and look through the module itself. So if we have Thousand Lights for use with Mothership, sci-fi horror RPG, depths kill, center yourself. So this takes place on a planet called Unadopted Planetary Body 154, and it takes place within this TEL 022 structure that you see pictured here. So what I got from my reading is that you come down this chasm, and you're going to work your way through, and there used to be a generator that powered the entire building, but that's gone out over the previous years. So they have these people called lamplighters, which go section to section, restarting the backup generator, and then whenever those go out, someone comes back and does it, and this has just been a cycle for years. And in each area there is a terminal that the previous lamplighter put their information into, and you get essentially what the information of the room based on what the company tells you, which is what's supposed to be happening, and based off what the lamplighter tells you, which is most of the time what's not supposed to be happening, and the spooky stuff that entails. We start off with our company. So our company is known as Hasmos, and this gives us kind of a background on them. And I like how it ends with let's take a moment to remember the lamplighters who have fallen, and then you can see there's names, but they're covered up by this sticker that says no recorded fatalities. So a little cover-up situation going here, and I'm sure as we go into it we'll uncover a little bit. I know based off of what Mothership is kind of about, it's very unlikely that you ever figure out what's entirely going on. So probably have to make our own assumptions or everything. So yeah, your objective here, restore light, and then there's an additional objective, which is just this little code that Alfred put in the books. So in the bottom and top of some of the pages, you have these little numbers here, and that's just kind of like a cipher. And I've already done mine. I kind of figured out what it was going to be after the first 3 letters, and I don't know if it's the same for everybody's, so I won't comment on that. And then here's your background that I've kind of covered, and then the workflow. So enter the area, access the Memocon, which is the terminal, to get a visualized overview of the area, and then the transcript gives you a little bit more flavor on the room. And then you're going to use this Oracle system here, which is really cool. Observe, resolve, act, conclude, and then leave evidence. This is kind of your game state flow. So observe is whenever you're looking at the terminal, you're looking at what the company tells you as well, given your observations, essentially what is in the room and what that details. Resolve, this is where you're going to decide what you're going to do. So say you see a food hall or something, you're like, I'm gonna make myself a nice tasty sandwich. So you plan to go to the sandwich, but you know there's a pit of piranhas that is between you and the sandwich. You're going to need to make either like a speed check to like jump over, or a body check to, I don't know, rush through the thing of piranhas. And then act is you actually doing that, and conclude is all the dice rolls that you'll be making to determine if you did that. And then leave evidence. So much like the lamplighter before you, you'll be leaving what you saw with the Memocon at the end of the room. So there's A, where you can read what the previous one put, and then B. And you can actually see, I got this from the first page, you can see what was left at A and then what was left at B. So this kind of tells you how that person, the previous lamplighter, kind of got through the room itself. Yeah, and then you'll do your depth complications, which we'll get to in a second. So I'll talk about my character here and kind of what they require. So Alfred has this mandatory training, so he thinks you should do industrial equipment, and then he recommends these, but these aren't required. This is mechanical repair and jury rigging. They also give you a little additional equipment, so a flashlight, rebreather, and a dive gauge to make things a little easier for you. So here's my character. I thought, since industrial equipment, mechanical repair, and jury rig were recommended as well as required, I assume, I went ahead and just made a teamster, which I think was probably the best for this. Anyway, it doesn't really make sense. Well, I guess I can see why a Marine will go on. Well, the company's not saying that there's anything wrong here, so why would they send a Marine out here? Maybe I guess it's more of a background type deal, but I think Teamster is probably best for this. So I have industrial equipment, jury rig, and 0G training, as well as expert training in mechanical repair. So my character's name is Skaggs. I don't know, I just thought it would be a cool name. As I said, he was a Teamster. He has a 36 strength, 35 speed, 40 intellect, 46 combat, 36 sanity, 25 fear, and a 38 body. He's got 15 health, 2 wounds, of course, and then, of course, the 2 stress. And I rolled my equipment. I got a vac suit, so I start off with an AP of 3. A revolver with 6 rounds, a crowbar, a flashlight. I rolled that, but we also get it. And then, the rebreather, dive gauge. I got a trilobite fossil as my trinket, so I don't know what I'm gonna do with that. Maybe I could sell it to a scientist that I find there, or bash someone over the head with it. And then I got my patch was it said "Take my life," and then in quotations, please. So I think from that, I really like the patches. It kind of gives you like a, if you don't know how to play the character, it gives you a little, I don't know, advice. So I think Skaggs is going to be this kind of nonchalant, non-caring type guy. Not necessarily suicidal, but he doesn't really care about himself too much. Maybe he doesn't take care of himself in the way that someone should be. Maybe he prefers to be alone. I can kind of relate to Skaggs in that way. I mean, I am playing a solo RPG, but maybe he has this. I know this module has to do with loneliness and like sense of like, what's it, like things that can come with that, kind of the fear of isolation and the, oh, what's the word? Oh man, I'm forgetting it. Oh man, I'm so stupid. Oh, whatever, we'll come back to it. Delusions, yes, delusions that isolation can bring. So yeah, let me get this out of the way. So there's some hazards here. We'll come back to that here actually. So this game runs on 2 major tables, and then he has his own oracle system. So we'll go through the incidents and near misses that I talked about earlier. So in this game, you're going to come across a lot of hazards, such as, and here they have unstable platforms, crab swarms, sharp debris, and seawater corrosion. So whenever you come across one of these, you make this table. So it's a alphabetical by numerical, based off a D10. So if you come across a unstable platform, nothing happens to you, then you might maybe make a minor like speed check, maybe if it entails. But the biggest thing is going to happen whenever you roll a number. So every time you come across something, you're going to roll a d10, and whatever that comes up, you're going to put a check in that box. So unstable platform they have here is 3, and then whenever they rolled seawater down here, which is D, they rolled another 3. So these 2 are just additional things you have to wait for later, but in this one they rolled the same. So that causes a thing known as a repercussion to happen. So in your game, you need to come up with something that's going to happen where an unstable platform and seawater corrosion work together, or one of the 2. You can't think of anything, but I think this is pretty easy. They work together and they cause some form of potential hazard to you. So I think an easy one for unstable platform and seawater corrosion is that seawater has corroded a platform so to where it has become unstable. So maybe one of you step onto it, the support beams break, and you're going to need to make a speed check or a body check or whatever to, body check I guess would be to hold on and not fall, and speed check would be like to jump off to the next platform before you fall. I guess it would be up to you. Then you would erase those 2, and you would continue from there, going down with other hazards, and then rolling your d10 every single time. And I feel like eventually, once you get towards the end, you're going to have so many of these. Thanks, cat. Just shake the whole table. Sorry. You're going to have so many of these piled up, you're going to be experiencing multiple at once. Next is our panic table. So at the end of every single room, we do a panic check. So this is based off your stress level, and this uses the D20. So say you have a stress of 6. So you leave a room after you've left your evidence, and then you roll an 18. So since it's above your stress level, nothing's going to happen. If it did, so maybe you had an 19 stress or an 18 stress, you would experience breathlessness. So you would gain that condition, and you have disadvantage on all your actions from here on out. So that's just something to keep in mind as you go from every room. Just essentially every time you go to another room, it is going to become more difficult. And I wonder if this is the same as you go backwards. I might need to do a little reading on that. I would assume as you go backwards, it is, hey cat, he's going to give us a little visit. Nope, never mind. He changed his mind. But yeah, I would assume as you go backwards, because you have to go all the way through and get the last unit, and then you have to come all the way back to hop back onto the, the airship that dropped you off. And all through this, you're going to be using the built-in Oracle, which I think is really cool. It's a D50 system, and of course you would normally use a D100 and then divide it by 2, so 84 divided by 2 is 42. But in this case, I actually 3D printed a D50, so I don't have to worry about that. So I rolled a 20, so I don't have to divide by 2. Also got a little dice tower over here. 31, awesome. So I don't know if I'm gonna keep this gray like this. It's cured, so I don't have to worry about, you know, getting poisoned to death by the resin. But I do need to, maybe I'll prime it and then like paint it. At least like dip some wash paint or something into the color or into the little dips. Like maybe paint it white and then have like black lettering. It's almost too big to fit in my dice tray. That's funny. I don't think it'll close though. It's too wide. Oh man. Oh well. But yeah, so this Oracle, not only does it give you the standard no but, yes but, it also gives you some sort of prompts if you're looking for something. So say you go into a room and you find like a series of lockers and you're wondering, is there anything in the lockers? So you would roll your D20 and then say it comes to no. You roll 24, no, but you see that there is high activity. So that's what this bottom part says here. It's a little hard to read, so I really recommend you get a PDF or the physical copy. And sorry, my cat is making strange noises. I think he's chewing on some dried macaroni that I left on the ground. No, we're good. Okay. Sorry. Yeah, but you see that there is high activity, so it seems like someone's been using this locker pretty frequently, which is strange because this place is supposed to be abandoned. Oh, my cat is straight up, yeah, he's vomiting. All right, hold on. I gotta go and clean that up. All right, crisis averted. Where was I? Oh yeah, so you would know that maybe there's someone down here that's not supposed to be down here because based off of the no but. And then there's stuff like this one, wildlife. So maybe you ran into the crabs, or food stuff. Maybe you run into someone ate something. So like, maybe you hear a noise and you roll, is there anyone there? No, but food stuff, there's someone eating something. So maybe you see that there's somebody who is hiding from you. But yeah, I think that's a good explanation of what we're going through. Maybe we'll run through some of the hazards actually. So here's some of the things you could experience. I'm sure some of these are just more suggestions than what you're actually going to run into. Be kind of cool to run this solo and then maybe run this for a group. Kind of throw some of these things in there. So stuff like depth, complications, decompression sickness, or the bends. Most people know about this stuff. Pretty brutal. Nitrogen narcosis. So that is something very real, especially with people who are breathing in like canned oxygen. You can experience like these divers. Unlit areas, of course, darkness you're more prone to, falling. Raiders, maybe there's going to be people here. Flooding, it's underwater, so that's to be expected. Some crabs. This is a horrifying image. It looks like a hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It even has 5 digits. I wonder if that is maybe people's hands are being cut off and turned into crabs. But he is a high-grade bionic owl. Okay, so he's loose on sight. Ari and rogue AI, rats. Rats are always a problem, no matter where you go. Even 10,000 leagues below the sea, there's gonna be rats down there. Little rats with their little scuba diving masks on. Corporate spies, yep. Grayler, ugh. Bulge-headed eel. Ugh, I don't like that. Parasites, definitely don't like that. And there's some specialist equipment, so there's some stuff that we can kind of run into in this game. I know there's a section that talks about There's like one of these that talks about firearms. So maybe you run into this like flechette gun, which is like a firearm that's designed to be used underground. Maybe it's used by the security so it wouldn't damage the hull of the, you know, the structure. So it wouldn't cause it to, you know, flood. Parachute lung, what is this? In the event of compression failure and or catastrophic flooding, parachute lung were installed. The tunnel resembled fluorescent backpacks. Interesting. Okay. Night vision headset. That could be useful, especially as this is, what you call it, going to be in the dark most of the time, so you're going to need your flashlight. Then ingress. So do not proceed unless you are adequately prepared. Here's a little introduction. So serve God, honor the corporation, but first maintain the light. So, and then let her legislate your kind of your will if you don't come back up. And then I think from here is the actual thing. Yeah, so as I said before, there is the company's description of the area, and then you have the previous lamplighter. So this is probably going to be a little more true because, of course, they've been here more recently. But all right, I think that is a good cover of everything. I'm going to do this in parts. I just got back from surgery, so my abdomen strength is pretty weak, and I'm kind of feeling it right now. So I'm probably going to go hop on some pain meds and zone out for the rest of the day. But I think I can do, this has 5 sections, then you got to come back, so maybe one or two parts every day, depending on how fast it goes. And I'll just kind of, maybe not every day, but every other day, at least. But yeah, I think I'm going to go hop on some pain meds. Maybe I need to eat something. I can't remember if I've eaten anything. Oh man, awesome stuff. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. I'm going to go lay in bed for a little while, maybe play some Final Fantasy X. I've been playing that pretty heavily as I've been out of work for a little while. I even printed this little anima section I'm going to paint maybe whenever I get back. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys will enjoy the upcoming playthrough. And I hope I'm going to enjoy this. This looks really cool. I've heard really good things about Thousand Tree Lights. And Alfred Valley seems to do very good stuff in the solo roleplay space. So if I enjoy this, I might pick up some more of his stuff. He's got a really good eye for design, I've noticed. He has a YouTube page as well, which I saw he did a YouTube page on the Mothership RPG. So probably much better content than what you're getting here. But yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope I'm going to enjoy. I'm pretty sure I'm going to enjoy. But anyway, we'll go ahead and peace out for the day. I'm going to finish off my coffee in my real restaurant mug, Hardee's, Carl's Jr. I'm sorry, guys. I don't know how to get you back from the mirror realm. Something you're going to have to do yourself. But thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you guys later.